Under the pallor of an overcast sky, the town of Eldridge seemed to breathe in hushed tones. Its cobblestone streets, winding like ancient veins through the heart of the community, whispered secrets to those who dared to listen. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a palpable unease that clung to the skin like the mist that rolled off the distant hills. In Eldridge, time appeared to move differently, its passage marked not by the ticking of clocks, but by the gradual fading of familiar faces, each disappearance leaving behind an echo of dread. The residents of Eldridge, once a tapestry of vibrant lives and shared histories, now existed in a state of quiet apprehension. Routine had become a fragile construct, a facade of normalcy barely concealing the simmering fear beneath. Doors that once stood open in welcome now closed with resolute finality as evening shadows stretched their fingers across the town. Conversations, once lively and filled with laughter, had dwindled to murmurs punctuated by anxious glances over shoulders. In the dim glow of lamplight, a group of individuals, disparate in their origins but united by a shared affliction, found themselves drawn together by the specter of their collective nightmares. Each night, as sleep claimed them, their dreams unfolded not as mere figments of imagination but as vivid tapestries of terror, woven with uncanny precision. The dreams spoke of places they had never been, of faces they had never known, yet they resonated with an unsettling familiarity. Among them was Claire, a young woman with eyes that held the weight of unspoken grief. Her dreams had begun as whispers, faint echoes of a distant past, but had grown into a torrent of images that left her gasping for breath in the dead of night. She had watched as friends and neighbors vanished, their absence a silent scream that tore at the fabric of her reality. Determined to unravel the mystery, Claire had become both seeker and sentinel, her resolve a flickering flame against the encroaching darkness. Beside her stood Thomas, a man whose stoic exterior belied the turmoil within. The dreams had infiltrated the fortress of his mind, sowing seeds of doubt and fear that took root in the fertile ground of his subconscious. He had seen the world through a lens of skepticism, yet the dreams had challenged his convictions, forcing him to confront the possibility that reality was not as immutable as he once believed. Together with others who shared their burden, Claire and Thomas embarked on a path fraught with peril and uncertainty. The cobblestone streets, familiar yet foreign in the shifting light, became a labyrinth of shadows, each corner concealing untold horrors. The town itself seemed to pulse with a life of its own, its buildings leaning ever so slightly as if straining to overhear the secrets whispered in the night. As the group ventured deeper into the heart of Eldridge, the boundary between dream and reality began to blur, the lines of demarcation smudged by the weight of their discoveries. In the quiet hours before dawn, when the world was caught between wakefulness and slumber, they felt the presence of unseen forces, a chill that seeped into their bones and set their nerves on edge. The journey ahead promised no easy answers, only a descent into the unknown, where courage would be tested and fears laid bare. Yet amidst the growing shadows, a fragile camaraderie emerged, a bond forged in the crucible of shared experience. With each step, they drew closer to the heart of the mystery, compelled by a truth that lay just beyond the veil of their understanding. In the end, it was not the promise of resolution that drove them forward, but the unyielding need to face the darkness, to challenge the nightmares that threatened to consume their reality. In Eldridge, where the air hung heavy with secrets and the night held its breath, the stage was set for a confrontation with the deepest fears of the human soul. The whispers began as a subtle intrusion, a faint susurration that danced at the edge of perception, yet grew more insistent as the group journeyed deeper into the heart of Eldridge. They wound through narrow alleyways, the stones beneath their feet cool and slick with the dampness of the evening air. Each step seemed to amplify the whispers, as if the town itself was desperate to impart its secrets. The air was thick with anticipation, a pregnant pause before a storm, and every breath they took filled their lungs with an unnameable dread. The dreams that plagued them were not mere phantoms of the night, but rather a call to action, an invitation to unravel the Isos tapestry of their own fears. Thomas found himself haunted by visions of a childhood home, long since abandoned, its walls crawling with shadows that seemed to writhe with a life of their own. In the waking world, he had dismissed these visions as memories tainted by time, yet in the dreams they held an ominous clarity that defied reason. The detail was exquisite, each creak of the floorboards a note in a symphony of unease, each whisper of wind through broken windows a haunting refrain. Claire's dreams, too, were infused with an unsettling clarity. She found herself standing at the edge of a forest, its towering trees reaching upward like skeletal fingers clawing at the sky. The forest was a place of memory, a location she had visited often in her youth. Yet in the dreams, it was transformed into a realm of malevolent intent. The trees seemed to loom closer, their branches weaving a tapestry of darkness that threatened to swallow her whole. Each night she awoke with the scent of damp earth in her nostrils, the echo of rustling leaves still reverberating in her mind. As they navigated the labyrinthine streets, the group began to speak of their dreams, sharing fragments of their nocturnal experiences like pieces of a puzzle. They spoke in hushed tones, their words barely rising above the whispers that filled the air, as if afraid that the very act of speaking would give form to their fears. Yet in the sharing, they found solace, a fleeting reprieve from the isolation that the dreams had imposed upon them. It was in these moments of vulnerability that their bond deepened, the shared burden of their nightmares forging a connection that transcended the boundaries of their individual realities. The town itself seemed to respond to their presence, its very fabric bending and twisting with each revelation. Buildings that once stood as silent sentinels now seemed to lean in closer, their windows watching with an intensity that was almost palpable. The lamplight that had once provided comfort now cast long shadows that danced with a life of their own, each flickering flame a reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edge of perception. Yet, as they delved deeper into the mystery, the group began to sense an underlying pattern, a hidden truth woven into the fabric of their dreams. It was as if the town was a living entity, its whispers a plea for understanding, its dreams a map leading them toward an inevitable confrontation. They could feel the weight of the town's history pressing down upon them, each step bringing them closer to a truth that threatened to shatter their understanding of reality. In this liminal space where the boundaries between dream and reality began to dissolve, the group found themselves standing at the precipice of revelation. The whispers, once a haunting chorus, now coalesced into a single voice, urging them onward, beckoning them to uncover the truth that lay hidden within the shadows of Eldridge. It was a truth that promised both liberation and despair, a truth that would test the very limits of their courage and resolve. As they pressed forward, the path ahead shrouded in uncertainty, they knew that the journey would demand everything they had to offer, and more. The group pressed on, their resolve hardening with every step they took into the heart of Eldridge. The atmosphere was thick with an almost tangible tension, like the charged air before a lightning storm. In this place, reality seemed malleable, bending and shifting in response to the unspoken fears that resonated within their minds. It was as if the town itself was a living, breathing entity, its very existence intertwined with the fabric of their dreams. The group's journey led them to places they had never dared to explore in their waking hours. They found themselves drawn to the outskirts of Eldridge, where the town met the dense woods that loomed like a dark wall against the horizon. The forest was a place of mystery, its depths concealing secrets that whispered of ancient histories and forgotten lore. As they stood at the edge, the trees seemed to lean in closer, their branches weaving a canopy that filtered the moonlight into fragmented patterns on the forest floor. It was here, amidst the rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl, that they felt the presence of something otherworldly, a force that defied explanation, yet demanded acknowledgement. As they ventured into the woods, the path became a twisting labyrinth, each turn revealing new and unsettling sights. They stumbled upon a clearing where the ground was littered with remnants of what appeared to be an old, forgotten settlement. Broken pottery, rusted tools, and the skeletal remains of wooden structures lay scattered about, remnants of a past that seemed to bleed into the present. Here, The line between dream and reality thinned even further, and the group felt an inexplicable connection to the souls who had once inhabited this place. It was as if they were walking among ghosts, the air thick with the echoes of lives long extinguished. In the midst of this eerie tableau, the group began to experience a series of strange phenomena. Time seemed to behave erratically, the sun's position in the sky shifting with unnatural speed, casting long shadows that danced across the clearing. The temperature fluctuated wildly, one moment icy cold, the next swelteringly hot. These disjointed experiences heightened their sense of vulnerability, as if the forest itself was testing their resolve, probing the limits of their courage. Further, exploration led them to discover a peculiar artifact half buried in the earth, a stone tablet engraved with symbols that defied translation. Its surface was worn and smooth, yet the markings seemed to pulsate with an inner light, drawing the eye in an almost hypnotic fashion. The group gathered around the tablet, each of them feeling a strange resonance within, as if the stone was speaking directly to their souls. The symbols, though unreadable, conveyed a sense of foreboding, a warning from a time long forgotten. It was a moment that underscored the gravity of their quest, reminding them of the stakes involved in unraveling the mystery that bound them to Eldridge. As they stood there, the whispers that had accompanied them throughout their journey grew, louder, coalescing into a chorus of voices that seemed to emanate from the very earth beneath their feet. These voices spoke of a time when the town was new, of a pact made in secret, and of the shadows that had grown ever since. The group listened, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and determination, knowing that they were on the cusp of a revelation that could forever alter their understanding of the world. In this moment of heightened awareness, the group realized that their dreams were more than mere disturbances of the night. They were a call to action, a manifestation of a reality that had been hidden from view, but was now demanding to be acknowledged. Each dream was a piece of the puzzle, a fragment of a larger truth that lay buried beneath the layers of history and myth. It was a truth that promised to illuminate the path forward, yet threatened to consume them in its unveiling. As they prepared to delve deeper into the mystery, the group understood that their journey was far from over, and that the darkness they faced was both external and within themselves. As the group pressed further into the depths of the forest, the air took on a peculiar quality, akin to the charged atmosphere before a thunderstorm. Each breath was heavier, imbued with the scent of moss and decaying leaves, creating a sensory tapestry that heightened their awareness of the world around them. The path they followed was no longer a mere trail. It had become a conduit for the strange energy that seemed to pulse through the land, guiding them toward an unknown destination. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, their calls echoing through the trees, weaving an aural tapestry that was both enchanting and unsettling. It was in this heightened state of perception that the group began to experience a series of visions, brief glimpses into a reality that lay just beyond the veil of their understanding. These visions were fleeting, like wisps of smoke that vanished upon closer inspection. Yet they left an indelible mark on the psyche of each individual. One moment, Claire found herself standing on the precipice of a cliff, overlooking an expanse of turbulent sea. The next, she was enveloped in darkness, her senses assaulted by a cacophony of whispers that seemed to emanate from the very depths of her soul. These visions were not isolated occurrences. Each member of the group experienced their own unique glimpses into the unknown, moments that defied explanation yet felt undeniably real. Thomas saw his reflection in a shattered mirror, each fragment revealing a different aspect of his being, a kaleidoscope of identities that warred for dominance. Others found themselves in places both familiar and strange, landscapes that shifted and morphed with each blink of an eye, as if reality itself was in a state of constant flux. Building on this, they began to understand that these visions were not mere figments of imagination, but rather reflections of the deeper truths that lay hidden within their subconscious minds. The forest was acting as a catalyst, drawing forth the fears and desires that had been suppressed within the recesses of their hearts. It was a place where the boundaries of self were tested, where the masks they wore in their waking lives were stripped away to reveal the raw essence beneath. Yet with each revelation came a sense of vulnerability, a realization that they were standing on the precipice of something far greater than themselves. The forest was a mirror, reflecting not only their individual fears but also the collective anxiety of a town steeped in mystery and deceit. It was a reminder that the path to understanding was fraught with peril, that the answers they sought lay beyond the comforting illusions of familiarity. As they continued their journey, the group began to notice subtle changes in their surroundings. The trees, once towering sentinels of the forest, now seemed to close in around them, their branches intertwining to form an intricate lattice that filtered the moonlight into eerie patterns on the ground. The air was thick with anticipation, as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting for the moment when they would finally uncover the truth that lay hidden beneath the layers of their dreams. Driven by a sense of urgency, they pressed on, knowing that each step brought them closer to the heart of the mystery. The forest, with its myriad secrets, had become both a guide and a guardian, leading them toward a confrontation with the deepest fears of the human soul. In this place, where reality and dream intertwined, they found themselves on the brink of a revelation that promised to illuminate the darkness that had shrouded their lives in uncertainty. Here, in the embrace of the forest, they would confront the truth that lay hidden in the shadows, a truth that would test the limits of their courage and resolve. Reflecting on this journey so far, the path has been one where the boundaries of reality and dream have become increasingly indistinct, a dance of shadows and light that has drawn us ever deeper into the heart of an enigma. The whispers of Eldridge, once a mere backdrop to the unfolding story, have grown into a symphony of mysteries, each note resonating with the profound truths that lie beneath the surface of our shared existence. As we pivot towards the final reflection, it becomes clear that the journey undertaken is not merely a physical traversal through space, but a deeper exploration into the realms of the psyche, where hidden fears and desires intertwine in an intricate tapestry. In light of these insights, the forest, with its shifting paths and ephemeral visions, stands as a metaphorical crossroads where inner truths are laid bare. It is here that the convergence of past and present, dream and reality, takes on a new significance, revealing the subtle interplay of forces that shape our understanding of the world. Like a mirror held up to the soul, the journey has illuminated the shadows within, casting light on the unspoken fears and anxieties that have long been concealed in the depths of the mind. This exploration has been as much about confronting the hidden aspects of self as it has been about uncovering the secrets that bind the town of Eldridge. Drawing these strands together, we see how the forest, with its labyrinthine paths and ancient trees, serves as a reminder of the complexity and interconnectedness of the experiences that define us. Each step taken within its confines has been a step towards greater understanding, a peeling back of the layers that obscure the truth. The visions encountered along the way have acted as guideposts, pointing towards a deeper reality that transcends the limitations of perception and challenges the very fabric of what we perceive as real. As we stand on the cusp of revelation, the themes of isolation and connection, fear and courage, emerge as the guiding forces that have shaped this odyssey. The whispers that have accompanied us throughout this journey are no longer mere echoes of the past, but voices that call for reconciliation, urging us to face the darkness with newfound clarity and resolve. The town of Eldridge, with its secrets and shadows, becomes a microcosm of the larger human experience, a testament to the enduring struggle to find meaning in a world that often defies comprehension. Reflecting on this journey so far, we are reminded that the answers we seek are not always found in the external world, but rather within the depths of our own consciousness. The road ahead is one paved with the realization that understanding is not a destination, but a continuous process of discovery and introspection. As we draw nearer to the ultimate truth, the anticipation builds, promising a culmination that will serve as both a resolution and a new beginning. In this space where dreams and reality converge, the journey takes on a mythic quality, a quest not only for answers, but for the courage to confront the unknown. The experiences shared, the visions witnessed, and the bonds formed along the way have woven a complex narrative that speaks to the universal human condition, echoing the eternal struggle between light and shadow, fear and understanding. As we prepare to step into the final act, The path forward becomes clearer, illuminated by the insights gained and the courage forged in the crucible of shared experience. As the group stood on the edge of revelation, the forest around them seemed to hold its breath, a timeless witness to the unfolding of truths long buried beneath layers of fear and denial. The air was charged with an electric anticipation, each heartbeat echoing with the promise of discovery. In this moment, the boundaries between dream and reality dissolved completely, revealing a landscape where the deepest fears and the most profound truths coexisted in a delicate balance. It was a space where the soul's whispered fears were met with the unwavering gaze of understanding, where the shadows cast by doubt were illuminated by the light of insight. The journey through Eldridge had been one not just of external exploration, but of internal transformation. Each step taken on the winding paths of the forest had been mirrored by a corresponding step into the depths of the self, revealing the intricate web of connections that define the human experience. The visions that had once been mere fragments of nightmares now stood as powerful reminders of the resilience of the spirit, urging the group to confront the darkness with newfound courage and clarity. It was a testament to the enduring power of hope, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming fear, the human spirit possesses the capacity to transcend its limitations and embrace the unknown. In this space of profound realization, the group understood that the answers they sought were not confined to the physical world, but were woven into the very fabric of their being. The whispers of Eldridge, once a haunting chorus, now served as a call to action, urging them to embrace the complexity of their existence and to seek understanding beyond the confines of perception. It was a call to acknowledge the interconnectedness of all things, to recognize that the boundaries that separate us from one another are but illusions, and that true understanding lies in the willingness to confront the shadows within. As they prepared to leave the forest, the group carried with them the knowledge that the journey was far from over. The path ahead was one of continued exploration, a journey into the depths of the soul where the light of understanding could illuminate the darkest corners of fear. It was a journey that promised no easy answers, but offered the possibility of growth and transformation, a chance to transcend the limitations of the past and embrace a future imbued with potential. The true practice begins now, as they step back into the world with eyes wide open, armed with the insights gained from their odyssey through Eldridge. The experiences shared, the fears faced, and the truths uncovered have woven a tapestry of understanding that will guide them as they navigate the complexities of existence. In this moment of profound clarity, they recognize that the journey is not one of isolation, but of connection, a dance between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. As they move forward, they do so with the knowledge that the whispers of Eldridge will remain with them, a constant reminder of the power of the human spirit to transcend fear and embrace the unknown. It is a call to action that resonates beyond the confines of the forest, urging them to seek understanding in all things and to approach the world with a heart open to the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of perception. In this space of possibility, the journey continues, a testament to the resilience of the spirit and the enduring power of hope.